All right, let's get right into it. The idea of AI and blockchain coming together is probably one of the biggest stories in tech and finance right now. But beyond all the hype, there's a really fundamental challenge here. And solving it could unlock a $1 trillion frontier, or, if we get it wrong, it could create a whole new world of risk.
At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one simple question. What happens when an AI stops being just a tool that we use and becomes its own economic player, with its own money, its own goals, literally living and breathing on the blockchain? What happens then?
You see, we're talking about the very beginning of on-chain AI agents. And look, these aren't just fancy chatbots. The vision here is for completely autonomous, totally transparent, and verifiable AI entities that exist right on the chain, making their own decisions. It's almost like a new form of life.
And this is where the shift really gets interesting. For years, AI has basically been what we call an off-chain oracle. It's a passive thing sitting outside the blockchain just feeding it data. That old way, well, it's slow and you have to trust it. The new way? The agents become native participants. They're autonomous, they're trustless, and they're instant. This is a complete game changer. So just try to imagine what that means. Picture an AI that can manage a multi-million-dollar liquidity pool better than any human ever could, or one that executes these super complex arbitrage trades in a fraction of a second. We're talking about AI-run treasuries that react to the market faster than any human committee. The potential for efficiency is it's absolutely staggering.
But, and this is a huge but, there's a massive roadblock standing in the way of this incredible future. It's the single biggest bottleneck in this whole ecosystem. And it all comes down to a communication problem. This is what we call the language barrier. Think about it. Smart contracts, the very foundation of DeFi, were built for you and me, for humans, to interact with. They're good at following instructions, but they weren't designed for a super intelligent AI to understand the intent behind the code. The AI needs a standard way to understand the why, not just the what. So that leaves us at a crossroads, really, with two very different paths forward. Solving this language problem isn't just about grabbing an opportunity. It's absolutely necessary if we want to avoid a catastrophe while unlocking all this incredible value. So on one path, you've got the reward. Unlocking those AI-run markets and treasuries, we're talking about a potential economic impact well north of $1 trillion. That's the prize, right there, for whoever builds the language that lets these agents work safely.
But on the other side of that coin, you've got the risk, and it is huge. This quote really says it all. A misinterpretation could lead to catastrophic losses. We're talking about a single line of code misunderstood by an AI, causing an absolute disaster. And this isn't some theoretical what if. Without standards, it's pretty much an inevitability.
And these aren't just small bugs. We're talking about major systemic risks. You could have AI agents finding and exploiting loopholes to drain entire protocols dry. Or maybe adversarial AIs designed to game the system. Or, worst of all, a runaway algorithm that triggers a market-wide meltdown. The stakes just couldn't be any higher. So, how do we fix this? What's the solution? Well, the good news is there's a clear path forward. What we need is a blueprint for a common language. You can think of it like a universal translator between the AI agents and the entire world of DeFi. And that blueprint is really built on 5 key pillars. These are the essential ingredients for a safe, autonomous economy. You've got semantic interoperability, so the AI gets the purpose behind the code. Secure execution primitives, giving it safe, standard ways to act. Verifiable oracles, so its decisions are transparent. Risk management frameworks, which are basically the circuit breakers. And finally, multi-agent coordination, so they can all work together without causing chaos. Let's just zoom in on a couple of these. First up, semantic interoperability. This is all about meaning. It's the difference between an AI just reading code versus actually understanding the idea behind it. The agent needs to know that a swap function is for trading, not just that it's a piece of code that takes certain inputs. It's like the difference between just reading the words in a sentence and truly grasping what it means. And then pillar 3, verifiable oracles, is just as crucial. We absolutely cannot have a black box AI running the show. Its reasoning, its decision-making process, all of it has to be verifiable right there on-chain. If we lose that transparency, we basically lose the entire trustless promise that makes blockchains so powerful in the first place. Now, if we can build this common language, If we can get these pillars right, we're not just looking at a small upgrade to the system. No, we are looking at the dawn of a completely new era, the era of autonomous finance. And this TCP/IP analogy is spot on. TCP/IP is the basic protocol that made the internet as we know it even possible. The project or the team that solves this AI communication problem, they will be creating something just as fundamental for the future of finance.
And the payoff for all of us? It's a whole new world. Markets that are unbelievably efficient, reacting in real time. Financial products that we can't even dream of today. And a level of algorithmic sophistication that will make Wall Street look like it's standing perfectly still. And make no mistake about it, this isn't some far-off sci-fi future we're talking about. This is happening right now. The race to build these standards, to define this new language, it is officially on.
And that really leaves us with the final trillion-dollar question. The people who solve this are not only going to unlock an insane amount of value, they're going to write the next chapter of finance itself. The race is on. Who's going to build it?